Oh man, are the rumors true? Is the US Bank Altitude Reserve actually going to be discontinued this week? Well, let's just say we got a little bit more data points, and we all know and love our good friend Stan the Credit Frog. He was the first to kind of put this message out there, which was the USBAR, the US Bank Altitude Reserve, the card that everybody loves and absolutely loves, mentioning that he's been hearing a lot of rumors from some sources saying that it looks like the card will be discontinued next week, that being 6 days ago, which looks like we're getting closer and closer. And this community post from Stan, our relevant Stan, actually caught some fire, to which Doctor of Credit actually mentioned him by name in this article here about rumors for this card being discontinued. Now, I've been hearing some other things, some more and more distinct rumors about this card actually being discontinued, more specifically in the Venture Capital Discord, where a lot of people can show all their opinions. They can add in some rumors like this. And this person, ZSM, we appreciated him, he showed that he found this Reddit thread about the US bar getting discontinued confirmed just as of yesterday. And they mentioned that they just got off the phone with a US Bank representative, and they confirmed that the card is getting discontinued on Monday. So that would be, what's today? Today's Friday. So hopefully I get this up today. So you just have a couple more days before actually getting this card, and it will no longer be available after that. Everyone with the card will be able to use it just fine. Any application from now until then will also be considered, just can't apply after Monday. And so one thing that I actually wanted to mention, while a lot of people are maybe a little bit more afraid, is this person right here by TJ Guitar. He mentioned they've turned off applications before and then it came back. And he's right, which is a very good point, which leads me down here by our friggin' main man, Spaithco, who is our residential points auditor in the Venture Capital Discord. We know and love him. He mentioned down here that this has happened years ago, and that US Bank has done this over a dozen cards that have been closed to application, and they will continue to support them. So even though if this is true and they were no longer accepting applications, have no fear. If you already have your US Bank Altitude Reserve cards, they will continue to be serviced for the foreseeable future. In fact, he even also says that they've continued receiving card art and benefits, except they are just no longer accepting new applications. And he also mentions here that for about 3 weeks in 2020, as they were doing a holiday push for a new card, which was the Altitude Go, which a lot of people know exists today, that they actually stopped accepting new applications for that card for about 3 weeks. So what he's essentially theorizing here is if it is the same behavior, and if they are going to be releasing a new card, that likely could be all that's actually happening. And they're going to close down to new applications. Maybe a couple weeks goes by, launch the new card into the new year for holiday season, get all that spend in there, and then they'll release it into the new year. Something like that is what he's theorizing. And very, very plausible given what I've read here and just exactly what US Bank has done over the years that I have read as well. However, in the Venture Capital Discord, our other main man, Credit Wallet, always on the up and up with some info, he mentioned that he also spoke with the rep because he just applied for this card before it was going to be discontinued. He was denied, but he's calling recon, so reconsideration line to be approved. But he mentioned that the rep confirmed that the Altitude Reserve will be discontinued next week permanently. Permanently, as the rep knows, and we can no longer get the card or product change. So Sash for me was preparing to get it in February. So sorry that you got denied. I hope you can overturn that with recon. And if that's true, and that rep isn't just saying whatever, because as we know, a lot of these reps, they're just working for the company. They don't really know the ins and outs. Most of them don't know as much as we do in the Points and Miles credit card community. We're kind of like a crazy type of people, and we knew all of the chase rules before the chase reps even knew, though. I mean, come on, we've done this for years. So the fact that they say, permanently, I don't necessarily think that's true, just given past experience with US Bank and all of their cards and everything I've read. Seems like they don't actually do that permanently for the most part. Of course, nonetheless, it is something that a rep is saying, but how much stock would I really hold in that? Maybe not so much, but something to note nonetheless. And so why do people love the US Bank Altitude Reserve so much? Like if you're somebody who is looking to get the card by Monday, if applications are going to be discontinued forever, which I don't think is true, but if it is, why do people love this card so much? Why do people love it? I haven't actually jumped on the, reserve train. I personally haven't seen like a real use case for it just yet, just considering how many different other cards that I'm using or planning to get. But the main reason people really love this is it's kind of like your higher tiered card that's fairly easy to justify and very, very easy to use and to get a lot of points with. And it's kind of the antithesis or the opposite of American Express's like the Amex Platinum card, where you have to go through a million different things just to get your value back. For this, it's kind of straightforward. So you just have a $400 annual fee, so pretty friggin' hefty. But with that, you're going to be getting a $325 annual credit towards travel purchases and dining. So that means if you are going through their portal or just making a travel purchase with your US Bank card, like maybe it's a $325 hotel. Okay, cool. If it's eligible, it'll count towards that credit, and that's $325 easy peasy, where it's not, maybe locked into a particular portal or it's not locked into a particular program. It could just be $325 straight and clear. And even if you're not the biggest traveler, and you just go out to eat, you can use this every single time for your takeout, your restaurant purchases, going out with a wife, what have you. And, every $50, $100 dinner could be used towards this $325 credit, thus discounting that annual fee down to maybe $75, to which then where most people see a lot of their value is the 3x back mobile wallet. So, most stores nowadays, at least the ones that I go to, accept mobile wallets. That's Apple Pay, Google Wallet, or Samsung Pay. And you're going to be getting 3x back on all of those purchases, along with travel as well. But most people love the mobile wallet. So kind of doing the math here, if you were to break out the calculator and wanted to see how to make up that $75 to kind of make that annual fee at least break even, and then, hopefully, obviously, profit from the card every single year, how much would you have to spend on that 3x category? Well, for one, if you just value it, the 3x, add 3x, and it's just 1 cent per point, something like that, then if you just spend about $2,500 times the 3x, divided by 100, you're going to be getting your $75 back. Okay, so just $2,500 every year in the mobile wallet category, and now you are, effectively break even. However, one of the main superpowers that a lot of people mention for this card is this card has something called real-time reward, which essentially you're going to be getting an additional 1.5 cent per point redemption multiplier via real-time rewards on qualified travel. If you're, buying a flight or hotel, car rental, taxi cab, all these different things in the travel category, you're going to be prompted on your phone once you make that purchase, like, 25,000 points can be redeemed for a $375 airline ticket. And so if that purchase is eligible, it'll come up on your phone saying, hey, you just bought a $375 airline ticket. Okay, cool. It's eligible for real-time rewards. Okay, now you'll be able to get reimbursed essentially from your real-time rewards from your US Bank All-City Reserve at a 1.5 cent per point multiplier. So like it says here, 25,000 points is like $375 airline ticket that can be done all in real time, right when you make that purchase, right on your phone. In fact, I first learned about this when Stan the Credit Frog, we were down in Washington, D.C. We met up for a day with a bunch of other good friends, and he showed me on his phone how it works, because I still didn't know at that time. And he showed me, it's pretty cool. It just comes on your phone and, you do all that. So it's pretty cool. And so if you just take that exact same multiplier and you plan on using all of your points for travel with that 1.5 cent per point multiplier, well, now you're actually able to multiply this by that amount, and you're actually getting $112.50 for that same $2,500 worth of spend every year in the mobile wallet category. So now you're profiting, about $40 extra every single year just with this minimum amount of spend. Now, of course, if you're at a grocery store that accepts mobile wallet, which a lot of them do, and or just using this on basically every purchase in life, and maybe you can get to like $10,000 in spend every year in the mobile wallet category, multiply that by your 3x, you're going to be getting 30,000 points, multiply that by your 1.5 multiplier, divide that by 100 to get our cash value, and that's $450 every single year, $450 in value, and I guess minusing that additional $75 from that annual fee, $375 in profit every single year, just by using this card for the mobile wallet category every single year for basically all of your spend. And of course, depending on your spend, then of course, in their portal, you're getting 5x back, much like the Amex Platinum card, prepaid hotels, car rentals. On top of that, you're also going to be getting complimentary priority pass, 8 free visits, so that's pretty cool, along with also the Visa Infinite Luxury Hotel program. I think it's pretty good, and also the VentureX has access to that, as well as TSA PreCheck, enjoy up to $100 in statement credits. So a pretty powerful, maybe less aggressive premium travel card than most, and very, very simplistic. And I think a lot of people value that simplicity, highly. And I think that's why the card is so favored and why there's so much hubbub about this card potentially being discontinued. Now, what happens if it is going to be discontinued? I mean, what can people do? Are there any other cards out there that give you some points back or what have you for a mobile wallet? Well, the answer to that is, well, yes, actually. I first realized this by our good friend Eric Gao on YouTube. He was the first one that I saw that really mentioned the Kroger MasterCard. Now, a lot of people might be laughing at that, like, Kroger, what are we talking about here? Like, I have a Stop and Shop and I'm in New York, or I have a Publix and I'm in Florida. Well, what's a Kroger? Now, I'm also not familiar with Kroger. I've never been to one. And you can see right here in his thumbnail, 5% back on mobile wallets. And remember, the altitude reserve is actually just 3x back on mobile wallets, or 4.5 if you include that 1.5 cent per point multiplier. And so here's the deal with the Kroger MasterCard. So this is just for anybody who wants an alternative. If you don't want to get that other card and you feel like you just want a mobile wallet card, Eric Gal makes a good point, and this card is actually pretty powerful. So right here, it's a $0 annual fee card. You get 5% back on mobile wallets, right? Okay, cool. Same thing. Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, Google Pay, Garmin Pay, and LG Pay, which I've never heard of before. And you can get the 5% back on all those mobile wallets. However, the only downside is that the 5% category is 5%, but capped at the first $3,000 in spending per year. So you're kind of capped out at $3,000, whereas the altitude reserve, I don't believe, has any caps on that mobile wallet. And I guess, technically icing on the cake, if you're somebody that actually has a Kroger and would use their card there, you're also getting 5% back on that up to an additional $3,000 cap. So technically $6,000 per year on Kroger and just a normal mobile wallet. But I guess the one thing to note is, I guess you have to have a Kroger or one of their subsidiaries, like a Harris Teeter and what have you, in their state to actually get approved for the card. If not, then I guess just don't even apply. So look that up before you actually go and apply for it if you're going to. And if anybody knows down below more info on exactly like which states actually would be eligible for this Kroger card or all the different other variants of it, please let me know down below, because that would be interesting. But I guess the main thing is, well, if you're somebody who really wants this card and finds it valuable and you are just waiting for some reason to jump on it, I mean, if it is true and Monday is going to be the last day of applications permanently, then of course, you're probably going to want to jump on that while you can. But again, don't do it out of FOMO. Don't do it out of like, I'm going to miss out on everything. Just do it if you think it makes sense and you've been planning this for a while. So, here's your reason. But if not, and you don't really care for it, you're just like, well, I would like to get in before it cancels, then maybe it's just not the card for you if you just didn't care about it beforehand anyway. And to just, breathe for a second, take a moment before you make any rash decisions, because, well, apparently it's a card that's a little bit hard to get depending on your credit profile. And you do have to do a bit of spending for it to even make sense in your situation. Am I personally getting it? I don't believe so. I don't think so. It would be cool, it would probably make for a good video, but I just don't think I care about it too much right now, considering I still am just hitting spend on welcome offers for my Chase Ink cards. I mean, I probably want to keep my inquiries and my 524 status low for the foreseeable future, at least for now, just to see if anything new kind of hits the market that I think I would be able to take advantage of a little bit more. But that's just me. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are down below. If you do want to see the card that I'm using for pretty much everything right now, check out this video in the top left-hand corner of your screen. I think you'll get some value from it. And as always, thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much.